Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Abrazo Football Podcast. Brooks, Blaine, as per usual. Brooks, my friend, how you doing, man?
Good, man. How about you?
You know, I'm glad the season's at least the major portion of the season is over. Uh, I feel like it was a long season. It was a stressful season, and then it was a season where I ultimately stopped caring, which,
You stopped
I stopped
early
care.
on too.
I stopped early on caring, except for towards the end of the Bundesliga when I thought Dortmund actually had a chance at winning the league, and to watch them collapse. Because I'm all over the place. I feel like most of the season was wrapped up around the country or around Europe, like by early February. Like
Yeah,
PSG had it wrapped up, Napoli had it wrapped up. I mean, it was close between Arsenal and Manchester City.
yeah.
So for me, I thought Arsenal had it wrapped up. Okay. Um, so yeah, it was Germany, you know, racing between, Bayern Munich, Dortmund. And I'm just sad. I'm just ultimately sad with the way this season panned out across, PSG jumped out of the league. Arsenal, you know, didn't have the depth to go on. Uh Inter finished top four and made it to a Champions League final, so that's something to celebrate. Chelsea was, you know, dropped dropped out like basically straight out the gate. Straight out the gate they dropped out. I mean, we're celebrating draws like they're wins at this point, but I don't know, man. How about you? What's your just overall thoughts of the 23 or 22-23 season?
I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I'm very happy. Second place is fine. I mean, I'm not one of these people that's, upset or mad or angry or, back in Champions League after what, 7 years. Second place to Man City, like you said, just didn't have the depth. So it was
Yeah.
hard to see that. It was hard to, go into the winter window saying, okay, come on, like if you don't make the right moves, you will lose yourselves the league. And ultimately that's what happened, but it's still losing to Man City, one of the best teams ever put together right now is I'm not mad. They're gonna come back. That's a young team. I don't know. I was happy with how it shook out. What I was unhappy about was Paris in Champions League. It's just like every season it's the same thing. It's like, dude, are you serious? Like, are we really gonna watch you get battered by a team that you should be better than? Um,
Yeah.
Italy was has been fun the last few years. It's been a long time
Yeah.
since I've been like excited to watch Italian football. So that's
Yeah.
been really cool. Napoli bringing it back since, Maradona did it is awesome. Um, and then, living in Barcelona, seeing Barcelona win it is amazing.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that. Yeah. I feel like they kind of had it early on.
They kind of did.
Like they kind of had it early on, but yeah, it still felt good to see like that cohort. Also, shout out to Robert Lewandowski. He ain't never been a loser.
I know,
I
and he would have solidified his greatness even more if Bayern lost the league this year.
Yeah.
Because he
That
won in
yeah.
Dortmund, then went to Bayern, won all
Y-
those.
yeah. Yeah, it just hurts, man. That Bayern winning in the way that they won just hurt. I mean, I'm happy, for some of the players like João Cancelo, double league titles. Like that's not
Yeah,
nothing.
that's crazy.
That's not nothing. I mean, Sadio Mane's out there catching felony charges for slapping the taste out of Leroy Sané's mouth. It would have been a bad look if he didn't win. Like it would have been a bad look if Bayern didn't win because they should always win.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, man, Dortmund, all you had to do, like Marco Royce has never won the league. All you had to do was not lose. My man Jude's Bellingham would have had a title and a DFB Pokal, but no. Now he goes to Madrid a loser. But,
So wait, hold on. Marco Royce has never won the league?
I don't think he has. I think
I
he
thought
came
he
the year
did.
after they. I thought he came the year after they won it.
Oh my gosh, you could, I guess you could be right. I thought that him and Lewandowski
Fact
won
check
one
me.
together. I guess I'll look
I
it up, but yeah, I mean, you're
I got
probably
it pulled
right.
up right here. I got it pulled up. Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay.
Honors.
With Dortmund, he has won two DFB Pokals, one DFL Super, or three DF, or excuse me, I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay, two DFB Pokals, three DFL Super Cups, and a runners up of the UEFA Champions League. So they won the
No,
league. The Lewandowski won the league with Dortmund after or the season before Marco Royce
before.
joined.
That sucks.
Yeah. And then and then the whole thing he would have won a World Cup with Germany, but he got
Yeah.
injured right before the season ended and the World Cup started. So it's just I just feel so like he's like one of the greatest players in the history of the German sport and he's never won, the big prize. And
Yeah, dang.
it just sucks.
I was watching a I this is how bored I am with Grace being out of the country. I was watching the 1998 NBA Finals, the last 3 minutes of Michael Jordan's career with the Bulls,
Yeah.
against, as you know, the Jazz, and it said that John Stockton has made the most playoff appearances out of any player without ever winning it. So he's like, I guess, made me think of Marco Royce. That sucks.
Yeah. Stats you don't want to have. That's the stat you
Yeah.
don't. I would rather have gone to the big game once and won it, or I guess in this situation, just contend for a league one time and win it
Yeah.
versus being on the cusp perpetually and
Yeah.
always coming up short. That would be mental. That I would admit, he's stronger than half the world mentally because I would have no one stays at Dortmund.
No.
People come and go from Dortmund.
Yeah.
He has stayed there. Mats Hummels went to Bayern, won some stuff, came
Came back.
home. Lots of players leave Dortmund.
Mario
And
Götze, Bayern
yeah,
Munich, or
yeah,
Robert Lewandowski left. Like, yeah, all of their
yeah.
great players just basically go to Bayern first and then go somewhere
For
else.
us, yeah, exactly. But it is
But you
what
know
it
who
is.
didn't do that is your boy Ilkay. Ilkay.
He went to City.
Yeah.
He said, F it. I'm going straight to the top. Pep said, come on, son. Now he might go to Barcelona. What do you think of Ilkay Gundogan at Barcelona?
I mean,
You
I
hate him,
know
don't you?
I know I made my opinions pretty clear a couple weeks ago that I'm not the big. It's not that I'm not a huge fan. I like him as a person. I think he's an awesome person, and I do like him as a player. But my point that I was trying to make was like, you don't need him at City. He's like, I don't think he's that pivotal of a player for City. Um, I think that currently what Barcelona's doing, they could really use him. Obviously, they have an amazing midfield right now, but what he's won and who he's been with and what he's been through, I think that those young boys would really benefit from.
Yeah.
But I just feel like I'm looking at City like, don't be upset if you lose Ilkay Gundogan. Like you're going to get someone to replace him of equal or far better value, in my opinion. If you're a City fan.
I feel like you're being disrespectful, but I'm
I
gonna let
am
it
a little
slide because
bit.
we aren't here to debate the merits of
Okay,
the
okay.
German Turkish midfielder.
Yeah.
I will just agree with you. I think it would be a great move to get 2-3 seasons out of him over at the
Yeah.
Spotify camp now. I mean, will City struggle without him? No, they won't struggle without him. But he was a huge asset, and he will be missed. He's a good man. He's
Yeah.
a good player.
He's a
He's a
good
great
man.
player.
He's a
He's a
good man.
and he's a
He
captain.
is a
But
captain. I know. I just
he's
don't
the
rate him. I just don't rate him like that. I
you
don't know.
don't rate him.
I
He
mean, for
hate
a different team, like maybe if he came to Arsenal or if he went to
Arsenal's looking at him.
Barcelona or yeah, I know. But I also heard that he's going to sign. He's gonna stay with City. That was like the latest that
Listen,
I heard. But
listen. If this is all I'm gonna say, and then we're gonna move on. Well, I'll give you last word if you want it, but I'm gonna move
nah.
on. If City were to re-sign Ilkay on a 1-year extension, that would be the best signing of the summer.
Stop. Moving on.
No cap, no. All right, moving on. All right, here's a question for you. I just want to get your honest take. Okay, so stats wise, Premier League, right? How many goals did Erling Haaland have?
Eight,
35,
was it?
36?
Oh,
Was it
36? I don't know.
38?
No, I don't know. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. Let's check. Should have had this pulled up.
Um, I thought it was 36 because they didn't score.
Yeah, he didn't even play the last
Um,
couple games. 36. You're right. 36.
36.
36 goals in
Okay,
35 appearances. It's crazy.
that's tough. That's so tough. Let me ask you this. Which is a greater achievement? 36 goals playing for Manchester City as Erling Haaland or 30 goals for one Harry Kane playing for the Spurs? Which is a greater achievement in your opinion?
This is hard because I can't stand the Spurs or Harry Kane, but it's hard because Erling Haaland's first year in England, and everybody was like, "Oh, he's gonna need some time to settle in. He's gonna need some time to learn the system." For that reason, I would say Haaland's more impressive stat wise to me. However, Harry Kane
Oh,
plays for it.
it's more impressive. I agree with you. It's more impressive.
Okay, what was the question then?
But is it like which is a better achievement?
That is
Like yeah, more huh?
that Haaland is a better achievement.
Okay.
But
All right.
but I mean, because listen, it's the most goals anyone's ever scored in the Premier League, so it has to be the better achievement. And I get what we're going to talk about next, which is like how great this City team is and how you have to almost do no work at all to score goals. Um, but you look at Aguero couldn't do that many goals. And I guess I don't know. I
Yeah,
understand
I
that
mean,
Harry Kane, what he did is amazing because Spurs are trash.
yeah. Well, yeah, that's just the take. I'm saying like, for example, reverse. Could Erling Haaland score
Uh,
30 goals if he played for Spurs? That's the opposite. That's like the swap. If Harry Kane played for Man City, could he score 36 goals? That's the question. That's so like I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Erling Haaland,
mhm.
and I don't know. I mean,
I
I
think
don't
so. I
know
think Harry
if
Kane
he
could
would
score
score 36
36.
goals.
I think
I
he
think Harry Kane
could.
could definitely score 36 for Man City.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if Erling Haaland could score 30 goals for Spurs. So, I
30? You
mean,
don't think he
yeah,
could score 30?
I mean, for Spurs, I mean, okay, like let's put it this way. How many goals? Let's just look. Just this will be my barometer. Erling Haaland.
What?
How many
For
goals
for
did he score for
for
Dortmund in his last
Dortmund?
season?
Well, and here's the other thing too. Who's the Yeah, I guess yeah, he was. They're both the penalty takers on their respective teams.
Yeah.
Also, he was hurt quite a bit last year for Dortmund, wasn't he?
20 so 3
24
seasons
games,
at
22
Dortmund.
goals.
Yeah,
He had
but the season
22
before
last
that,
season. 27.
27 goals in yeah, the 2021.
So yeah, he would
Um
definitely do it at Tottenham, I think. I
I
think
mean,
he would have.
Dortmund's better than Tottenham though. Like we're not like Dortmund's a better side, objectively a better side, but
I think so
I mean
too.
still.
But there, yeah. I don't know, man. That's a good question. Like,
Yeah.
I would be
It,
interested to
yeah,
hear
you
what
should,
people's thoughts on this.
yeah, I would like to hear people's thoughts too. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I
I
don't
do
know
think
one
that
way or
Harry
the
Kane,
other.
as much as I trash him on the field, like I don't have nothing against him off the field. It's just a Spurs player. But I do think that he could score over 30 goals for City as well. And I
I
think that's
think
obviously
so.
why they wanted him so badly. For what were they
Yeah.
going to pay 100 million for him?
Yeah, I think yeah. They were prepared to give 100 and they didn't, so they got Jack Greeley. But yeah, just I just wanted, to know your opinion and you're saying it the more impressive accomplishment is 36 at City for Holland over 30 at Spurs for Harry Kane.
I mean,
You're more
it's hard because
you're
I
more
see that
impressed.
I am more impressed because the sheer number is 36. And when you factor in it's his first season in the league, and then when you factor in his age, I just feel like that's he's 22.
Yeah.
It's just like it's baffling. However, I do understand how impressive Harry Kane has been at scoring goals for Tottenham. It's unbelievable what he can do on that team. Unbelievable. With
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
coach or like coaching issues and a new coach every season seemingly, like the way that he's been able to perform week in and week out for a number of years on a team that's on a club that's kind of just shambolically run is wildly impressive. So maybe the question should be, could he score 40 or more, on a Man City team? Which I think that he probably could if he's, he's, I don't know. He wouldn't
Listen,
have to drop back as much. He would be,
yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
because
that he
that boy
could.
played deep. He's in his own
Deep.
third. Listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I think it's more impressive that Harry Kane scored 30
Okay.
goals for Spurs than it
And
is
I don't
Erling
think
Haaland's
that there's a
30.
wrong answer, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah, yeah, like it's obviously only one person won the Golden Boot,
Yeah.
and and that person plays for the better team. He's also winning he won the league, but I
Yeah.
like just like as far as like what impressed me more, like I'm
Yeah.
more like it's more jaw drop. Like yeah, I get it. It's his first season. He's a kid. He's Phantom number 9. He's Phantom 9.
Phantom 9.
Phantom 9, 9 goals in 9 goals in 3 games, 9 goals in 2 games, 9 goals in 1 game in the under 23s for Norway. But you know, to do that at Spurs, I mean, come on. I'm just like it's impressive. Like you
It
don't get an
is. Yeah.
award for it. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like Erling Haaland, like if he didn't score, like if he got outscored, Erling Haaland would still be great. Like I'm not saying he would be
Yeah.
any less great if he only scored 25 goals for City. That would still be miraculous. Scoring 36, beating and breaking the all-time record, like that's amazing.
Yeah.
But like I'm more shocked.
That Harry
Like I'm
Kane's
more
gonna.
shocked that Harry Kane managed to score 30 league
Yeah.
goals for Spurs. That's
Yeah.
that's more shocking. Like
Shocking.
Erling
Okay.
Haaland,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
it's
hear
like
you.
for
I hear you.
example, it's like if we look back to that season where Messi put up like 54 goals or something crazy like that, like that's impressive. But I would be more shocked if Diego Costa scored 30 goals for Atletico Madrid the same season. That's all I'm saying. It's like it's more shocking when
Yeah.
someone on a less dominant
Yeah.
team can do big numbers. Like for example,
Yeah.
like you could even make the argument like Ivan Toney, what did he have? Like 20 goals playing
Yeah.
for Brentford?
21, I think. Yeah.
21, maybe 25. Like that's
Yeah.
also like that's more shocking. What up, Pierre? That's more shocking. Look at that boy yawning. He tired as heck. Anyway, but yeah, nothing against Holland. Like obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
young
Yeah. Yeah.
player of the season, Manchester City player of the season, goal of the season.
Yeah. 20 goals
Credit
for
credit where
Everton.
credit's
But
due.
yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. I don't think it's the wrong answer, but yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Both very impressive. Um,
Okay.
and it's almost
Okay. So,
like, when people are like, "Oh, Martin Odegaard would have won," you can't say stuff like that because he didn't win. They're like, if Holland didn't have this great of a season, well, he did. Like Holland did have this great of a season. Will he again? I don't know, but he did, and that was
yeah.
impressive. But on the same note, Harry Kane had an incredible season. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. And to be clear, yeah, like when it comes to like awards, I don't think the award should be given. Like there shouldn't be a bell curve when we're talking about awards.
yeah,
Like bell curve I use for
yeah.
like how impressed I am. Like,
Uh-huh.
oh, like that's really impressive, Harry Kane. Like, bravo. But like black and white on paper, Erling Haaland is a better player than you. He deserves the award. Like
Got it.
like it does like it's not like you get like your goals are worth 1.3 if you play for a team that didn't finish top
Yeah,
4. Like nah,
yeah,
dog. Like that's not. I'm not saying that. I'm
yeah,
just saying it's more shocking. So it seems like a bigger accomplishment. But
yeah. I get
I
it.
mean, at the end of the day, like black and white, it's not the biggest accomplishment is the one that has the most goals
Yeah,
in the season. But it just seems more impressive. Like it's anyway. Let's move on from this. Enough of the nonsense. Let's get serious for a minute, my friend. You live in Barcelona. Okay, you live in Spain is what I'm trying to say. Last couple weeks in Spain, things have been nuts. Okay, there's been a little bit of racism, accusations of racism. Javier Tebas taking aim at players, saying they're complicit. I want to get your take on what's going on in Spain. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this question because I wanted to catch you off guard. What is your assessment of La Liga and the racist issue? I'm watching games yesterday and it has hashtag stop racism for all the Spanish games. What is your assessment of the game in Spain right now when it comes to race relations? Brooks, Guerrero.
Um, I think that it lags behind in what they're trying, like as far as effort wise. I mean, effort isn't really a progress. It's obviously a step in the right direction, but we've seen a lot of effort in England, and there's been I don't very little progress the last couple of years also. But in Spain, it's like what the punishment was like. No one can sit in that section. It wasn't a full stadium ban. It wasn't like it was okay. Well, we just won't let the people who did it in that section sit in that section for I forget how long. Wasn't it like a
No clue.
it
I
wasn't long.
disassociated. I
It
disassociated with the whole
so
story. But
are you asking about racism in general in Spain or in La Liga?
not yet. Not yet. I guess when they well, I mean, I don't know what the difference is, but yeah, racism when it comes to players on the field. Like Vinny Jr. in particular. I think the stat I read was like there was like 11 incidents of racism during the La Liga season this year, and like 9 or 10 of the incidents were or were directly at Vinicius.
Vinny, even
So
the commentators telling him like when
really,
when he dances, it's like they were
oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Remember like the comments about him
yeah.
dancing? It's like, dude,
Yeah, yeah. Koki was like, "We gonna lay you out and show you what happens when people dance when they come to Madrid or whatever." The yeah, I guess yeah. I mean, like, could they do more? In your opinion, what should be done? Like in these situations, like they're calling him what? Is it mono? Is that how you say monkey in Spanish? Mono?
yeah. So what I think is that they should have a full stadium ban. I don't think that they take it. I don't. I was thinking about this. I don't think that anyone takes it seriously enough in the world, but in Spain specifically, we've been seeing this since. I mean, I don't know. I think that the first time it really hit us with our age was like we talked about it before, like the bananas with Danny Alves and stuff. Like
The Danny Alves incident.
I'm sure it was happening before then. It just wasn't, I don't know, maybe the technology wasn't there to pick up these cameras, what the cameras were doing, but I mean, this was bananas being thrown, you know. So it's not hard to pick that up. So
Yeah,
it
they
almost
zoomed in
feels
on it.
yeah.
It was hard to not see. He took a bite and threw it out. You couldn't miss it.
It's just I don't to answer your question, it's nothing is doing nothing it's not doing they're not doing anything for it. Like what is a section ban for the stadium for 2 games?
Yeah.
What is a stop racism slogan on the ticker on the game or on the banners across the field?
Yeah.
No one cares. And the reason that no one cares is because no one's really there's a couple things. No one's been made um like no one's been made a what am I trying to say?
An example out
An
of
example. Yeah, none of it. They've never cared. They've never cared. What happened to the person that threw a banana at Danny Alves? Well, we don't know because they've never
police.
cared.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if something is this is going to keep happening because there are zero repercussions. Like
Yeah.
when the thing in Chelsea against PSG when they were chanting like, we're racist or whatever, those people were banned for life.
Yeah. Some of them were arrested.
Oh yeah, arrested. They've been charged. Like this. It was the same thing with like Bukayo Saka when he and Marcus Rashford and them were racially abused. People were on Instagram saying, "Hey, these are the people that did it. They're making these comments on their Instagram accounts, and these people's Instagram accounts are being taken down, or they were getting, the police were getting sent that way." This is
They were
not
getting
happening in
charged. Yeah.
Spain.
People in England were getting, yeah, they were, I mean, you come in for the sweethearts, you were getting charged.
You were getting, yeah, and I don't know if that's still happening. I hope it is, but that's not even a thought in the mind of La Liga here.
Yeah.
And it's because I think no one it doesn't affect them as a person. What I think that might do something is we haven't really seen this happen against Madrid players until now. It's
Yeah.
been like Barcelona or I don't even know. It's really just been against like Barcelona players who, and I'm gonna be pretty careful with
I already
saying this. What?
I know what you're gonna say, but yeah, say it. I know
Whoa,
I already
whoa,
know what you're gonna say.
whoa,
Well,
whoa.
it's Barcelona. Like that's not Spain. Like we
Yeah.
don't care about Barcelona
Barcelona
players.
likes Barcelona
Screw
is there's a
that.
reason we're yeah, exactly. We're there's a reason we're in Barcelona.
Yeah,
Barcelona is open. Barcelona is, I mean, in
it's the
regards to Spain.
cosmopolitan region. Yeah,
So the one thing that I think might change is because it's happening to a Real Madrid player, and I know that he doesn't really run La Liga, but who really runs La Liga? Real Madrid's president. Anything he says goes. So now it's happening to one
yeah,
of his boys.
Perez. Yeah,
So
one of
since it's
his
happening to
best boys.
is one of yeah all time like yeah this guy is only getting better. He's what 23, 24 years old.
Yeah, something like
Star of
that.
the player, star of the team, star of the league. I think that unfortunately it's now come to that to get his attention or to get La Liga's attention. But when you look at the penalty, it was like I think it was a 1 game ban for sitting in that section. That was it. It wasn't two
Yeah,
or three or four. It wasn't a stadium ban or what. It was just okay. The fans can't sit there. No one cares. If you say, "Oh, I can go next week," they don't care.
yeah.
Cool. I
I
missed
couldn't
one
come to
game.
this
That
game
sees you. I mean,
anyway.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. I get my money back. Fine, whatever. I'll watch it on TV. I'll go to the pub this game. It's one game.
Yeah. So
It
that's
was
sad to me.
probably yeah, yeah.
That's sad.
Well, dude,
I think what?
no, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was just saying, I think that in order for people to take it seriously, they have to have a serious punishment. And that, unfortunately, I think, has to also reflect on the club. So if the club is going to get penalized for it, so be it, because it's your fans that are doing it. So do it.
Yeah,
Make it hurt so that they can so that they can feel it.
yeah, yeah. The only thing I wanted to add was like even like if you don't care, like say okay, I don't care. I don't care. It like it doesn't affect us. So what? We don't care. We're gonna move on. As a black player, you look at this and you're like, okay, like this is kind of nuts. Like, or let's just say a black player or a South American player, like they're gonna get mad at me for dancing. They're gonna call me monkey. They're gonna use racial epithets. Maybe I don't go play for Real Madrid. Not because Real Madrid is bad, just because I don't have the mental capacity to like with all of the pressure that comes from being a professional player. I don't have the mental capacity to deal with all of this nonsense. So I'm just going to not go play for Madrid or Barcelona. I'm going to go somewhere else where at least
Yeah.
I feel like I'm protected. And I mean, so for that part, I mean, there's a financial interest in cracking down on this kind of stuff just so people feel welcome to come play in your league. Like set like if you could say like, oh yeah, the season's 38 games and if there were only 12 incidents, that's like basically about less than 25% of the matches that one team plays, but overall, like that's a very small percentage of times that it happened like all around, but the optics would be yeah, like there's a likelihood that if I'm good that I'm gonna get racially abused. Like maybe I just go to Paris, maybe I just go to England, and like all the
Mhm.
countries have racism. Like let's not act like it's
Yeah.
universal to Spain, but like
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
least there's like repercussions and like protections for me, and like the president isn't going to like victim blame me after I've been abused and say that like I didn't show up to the meeting, like it's my responsibility to solve racism because I was racially abused. It's the league's, like
Yeah.
Javier Tevez was talking nuts. Like he's like, "Yo, we had meetings and you didn't show." It's like, okay, so like if I don't show up to the meeting, racism's permitted. Like, am I on the La Liga board now? Am I a paid advisor or am I a footballer? Like, come on, like, what are we doing, guys? Figure it out. But
Yeah, and to your point, I think that you hit it on the head, like kind of what I was trying to say. Like, yes, Vinny, okay, so maybe he could have gone to that, but it's not his thing to solve. These guys
yeah,
don't
it's not
care
his
because it
problem to
doesn't
solve.
affect them. So they say, "Oh,
Yeah,
well, you didn't come, so well, we don't have to do anything. It must not be that
yeah,
big of a deal, or it doesn't hurt that much,
yeah,
or your tears were fake, or it wasn't that like."
yeah,
No, no, no. It is that big of a deal. It is that serious. Do you think that? I mean, we're now trying to talk about the mental side of the game too. Like, I
yeah,
don't want to deal with this mentally on a Sunday evening and then have to go to like a Tuesday afternoon meeting to tell white people how to deal
yeah,
with what is happening to
Yeah.
me? So I just think that since it doesn't immediately impact them or their bottom line, it's like they don't think it's there. And the one thing that you'll have to correct me as I've never been to Chelsea game, but I heard that Chelsea installed like basically a QR code or something you can scan. If you hear stuff, racial abuse, you can
Oh.
text the number, scan the QR code, and be like, "Yo, it's this dude in the section 30 or 341L
Oh.
who's
Okay.
making the." And so those are like that's a thing that you need to, if you really want to be serious about racism and you really want to stop it and you care about people's feelings and who's being hurt, you have to implement things. And these things are going to cost money and they're going to maybe hurt some people that like the club, but it doesn't matter because you don't want these people at that club
You don't
who are
want
doing
those
these
people
things.
coming with you. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So,
Well,
yeah, that's something that I think is a very easy fix. You have a QR code or at least a number like, hey, report
yeah.
racism here. Dial blah, blah, blah when you're in the game and you hear something. Tell us what happened. It's like if you see something, say something type of stuff. Like,
Yeah.
do not
I
let
was
them get
thinking
away
if you
with
see
it.
something, say something. Yeah.
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 Don't let people get away with it. And I think that I don't really know the history of racism in La Liga, but I know that it's happened in Barcelona quite a bit. I just don't know of that many like superstar Real Madrid black players. I don't. Maybe you can correct me.
Yeah, it's not till recently that they've had like a surgence of black players like
In Madrid.
in Madrid. Like I'm trying to think like
Because
uh-huh.
I'm even thinking like Samuel Eto'o in Barcelona. Like I don't know if Madrid has ever had an equivalent until
Well, to be fair, Samuel
somewhat
Eto'o was a
recently.
Madrid player.
Yeah, but he was
Samuel
there
Eto'o
for
was
like
also
and Robinho. But
a
I'm
week.
wondering. And so this is
Yeah.
me. Yeah, this is my like. I can go conspiracy. My mind conspiracy theories, but um, I would be interested to know why. Was there a deeper, reason to leave Madrid than, I don't know, then it just didn't work out or whatever. Who knows? I don't know. Because we know that Florentino Perez told Di Maria he wasn't pretty enough. So I just
Yeah.
wonder what else is going on that, you know, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. Okay.
It's interesting.
So there was Emmanuel Adebayor, I guess, yeah. I didn't realize that Michael Essien played for Real Madrid. I'm not afraid to admit that on camera. But those are just African players. But black players, yeah, because Kareem Benzema's African. But anyway, yeah, they have way more black players now. I feel like they have more black players now than they ever have.
I feel like that
Which,
too, which is great.
like, yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, it's just, anyway.
It's great, but
Well, yeah,
to your point, he shouldn't be the one fixing the problem. La Liga needs to do it.
yeah.
I'm glad that he spoke up, and I'm glad that so many people are coming to his aid, both that play for Real Madrid and who are in different leagues. It's cool to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, like, I feel like, yeah, he really went hard though. Like
He did
he
go
was
hard.
like compilations in his story, compilations on his feed, interviews, like the entire. Oh, okay. I feel
What?
like okay, it's still
Yeah.
recording. My brother-in-law was calling me, but I'll call him back. I'll tell him, I'll call you in a second. But
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, uh, last thoughts on the Spanish problem with race, or you think you got everything out?
No, I have a lot because it's seriously something that is in my mind all the time, and I don't know. I don't know. It's I didn't no that but I definitely know more
Yeah,
that I need to say. I just feel like it won't
yeah,
stop until they get hurt. Like it hurts them, bottom line or
yeah.
points wise
Money driven.
or whatever. So, but we live in a selfish society, you know? And I also don't know what's the point of making
Well, yeah, I'm like, if you want to like,
of
and
saying
it's always
something
like,
like
they
that to
shouldn't. He
anyone.
shouldn't have
It
said they were
just
getting
it
relegated.
doesn't make
He
sense.
shouldn't have celebrated his goal in front of the away section. He shouldn't have been dancing on the field. He shouldn't have scored such a goal. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like, are you so like primitive that you can't think
But
of
this
like
happens week in and
something
week out
clever to say
everywhere.
about him that doesn't involve the color of his skin? Like,
Yeah.
like, you can't think of anything else that you would say to hurt him or like take a dig at him besides like, oh, you're black, you're like a monkey. Like that's like you're a 55-year-old man and that's the best you got for a 22-year-old. That's the best you can do. I mean, obviously it works and it hurts, but like, come on,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, be better, do better,
Be better. Be
be
creative.
better. Yeah, like you just from
Heard
like
it.
yeah, it's like
Next.
yeah, yeah. Come on, like what is it, 1850? All right, well, let's not let maybe later we can have a whole episode about this
I
where we
think we
can
should.
have a deeper dive. But in the interest of moving today's episode along, because we both have commitments that we need to get along to, let's just wrap up by going through our let's just say our top three picks
Okay.
for team of the season, player of the season, the manager of the season. In no particular order, maybe we just start with team of the season. That seems to be
Okay.
the least
Sure.
personal.
Yeah.
I haven't given this a lot of consideration, but I mean, I feel like there's only like objectively there's only one answer. I mean, that there's only one team looking at get snatching a treble.
Yeah.
So I mean, the other like there would only be two plausibly two candidates for the treble and they would both have to make it to the UCL final. And of the two teams that are in the UCL final, one of them could win a double, but the other one could win the treble. Or could they win the or yeah, because
Trouble. Yeah.
they won the league. Um, Man City or yeah, Man U didn't Man U win the Carabao Cup, so yeah, it's up for so it's FA Cup
Premier League.
final, and they already won the league.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, for me, the answer that team of the season has to be City. I
Is it?
don't.
Are
I
we
mean,
talking like England or all of Europe?
oh no, all over Europe.
Okay.
I
Cool.
mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, but you go for it.
I mean, I think you're right, but I'm gonna just for the sake of being different, I'm gonna say Napoli.
I knew it. Yeah,
Um, just
that's fair.
because, yeah, what they're doing, that I don't know. It's been the first time in 35 years or something. I just think that city needed it. I think that Victor Osimhen is incredible. That whole Napoli team just came together, and I hope that it's not one of these like last year AC Milan won it and then kind of dipped off. I don't know. I
Drop
think
off.
yeah.
Yeah,
So hopefully they don't, but I think it will happen again. But for now, I'm gonna say AC or Napoli.
Napoli,
Yeah,
Naples,
Naples.
Naples. All right. So next, let's go with the management,
Okay.
manager, coach of the season. Um, go on and go.
I'm gonna keep it
I feel like
Italian.
okay. Who you got?
De Zerbi for Brighton.
Okay, so okay, De Zerbi from Brighton, Hove, and Albion.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair, and I think a lot of people would agree with you. I think I'm going to take a contrarian approach, and
Okay.
it has nothing to do with me wearing this shirt, but actually, I might change my mind, and I'm looking at your shirt.
This is the
It could
one.
also potentially be, yeah. I mean, so here's the sad thing. It's like Manchester United under Eric Ten Hag potentially could win two cup finals this season.
Mhm.
Arsenal, on the other hand, will win nothing, but they had a very strong, decisive title run.
Yeah.
So it's between those two for me for manager of the
Okay.
season.
That's a good point. I mean, yeah, that's a good point. I obviously would lean toward
Results,
Arsenal because of results and
yeah,
the expectations weren't there at the beginning of the season. Most people didn't even think they'd make top four. Um,
yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
Ten Hag did an amazing job too, though. But yeah, yeah,
It's tough.
it's tough. They
I'm
both
gonna.
did amazing
It's.
and it obviously is. It was Ten Hag's first season in the Premier League too. So
I think I got to go Eric Ten Hag, man. I
cut
apologize. I just
Ronaldo
I
basically takes a lot of guts.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like I feel like yeah, he came in and kind of like backed it up. I mean, he like and won a trophy and could win two trophies. I feel
Yeah,
first season two trophies, standing up to the big man, the big CR7, getting the best out of young Argentines. getting, the best out of a back line, benching Harry Maguire. Like he made a
Finally.
lot of big calls.
Finally.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So that's it for me. I think I got to go with ETH
Okay.
manager of the season. In my opinion, you got Deserby,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mister Deserby. He
Just to
he won't
bring
be at
that
Brighton.
Brighton first team ever or first time ever in Europe, amazing. And he lost,
Yeah.
throughout the season or in the middle of the season, he lost arguably his best player. Um,
Trossard.
yeah, was able to hold on to the two other best players now. But I
Yeah. Yeah.
and he's
You talking
nasty
about
too.
McAllister and Casado?
Yeah, 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 yeah. And he's just
Yeah.
like
All three of them are leaving.
yeah, they're gone. Yeah, that
Deserby's leaving. Casado's leaving. McAllister's leaving. The Holy Trinity's out of there. They're all gone.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to be relegated in 2 seasons like Leicester.
Yeah, it's so sad. Yeah. I mean, I know we're not talking about that. I really wanted Everton to get relegated because they've been flirting with it for like 3 years. I'm like, bro, just go down already.
Yeah.
Stop
They
pulling our
won't
legs.
die.
Just go down. We don't want.
They won't die.
They won't.
Can't die, won't die. Yeah, dude, I feel like relegation day is always so sad. Though, like
So sad.
Southampton. Now we're off on a tangent though, but Southampton, they've been in the league forever. Like they might not recover. Like relegation's such a cruel thing.
Yeah.
Leicester isn't going to recover.
I feel like of those three teams that are relegated, the Leicester has the best chance of getting back before the of the three. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, dude. Well, I guess it depends who gets sold. Like I thought I was leaning more towards Southam, but we'll see. Because I feel like James Madison's out at Leicester now. Yuri Tielemans is out. Um,
Yeah, but
Albright.
wouldn't
No, not him. I can't think of the other guy that
Harvey
I'm thinking about
Barnes?
from Leicester. Yeah, him. Yeah, yeah. Like they're all outed. They're out. They're gone.
Yeah, but so is what's his name? James Ward-Prowse at Southampton.
JWP. He's
Like
gone,
he's
dude. Come to Chelsea. Come to Chelsea. You'll finally get to play in a major tournament with England.
Speaking of that, who's your player of the season?
POS, player of the season. Well, so I mean,
And
I
are we
feel
taking
like
into
I'm just
account
going.
European or like World Cup stuff too, or just
Yeah, I'm taking
internet
the
or
whole.
just
Yeah, the whole season. Yeah, the whole
okay?
season. Yeah, yeah. The World Cup's a part of that.
Okay.
So for me, I'm taking Erling Haaland out of the equation because he already won Player of the Season. Well, I guess that's not a good reason to take him out, but just like
No,
for the
yeah, like
sake
that's yeah,
of
yeah.
not of having like bringing something else to the table. I got to be honest, man. I mean, Martinez from Inter,
Really?
Lautaro. Dude, I mean, he got Inter,
Yeah,
captain Inter for like half the season, finished top four in a very competitive Serie A, won a World Cup,
yeah,
playing his role, and got Inter to a UCL final. Like, other players probably have been better. There's probably several players that have been better, but in my book, he's my GOAT right now.
yeah. No,
Like, I
definitely.
feel that's not nothing. That's not normal for, you know, that's just not normal in my opinion. So I'm giving a shout out. Like for me, like I guess I'm pulling from the teams that I support. Like this isn't like I mean
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
like
yeah.
just to be transparent. Like this I'm not like looking at like players, at PSG or Barcelona. I guess technically I could look at players from Barcelona, but no. Cuz like yeah, I mean I could think of a few candidates from Barcelona. I could think of obviously candidates, but for the players that I'm like have a personal vested interest in, Lautaro
Okay.
Martinez. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's not a bad
you
decision.
know,
You know?
yeah, I mean, it's not like, come on, Inter Milan in a Champions League final. Come
Yeah,
on. Like I thought they were gonna finish like seventh in the table this season. They finished top four. They finished third.
yeah,
So that's all.
yeah.
Who you got?
It's a tough one. It's very tough because especially I had one until we said international counts too. But then
Yeah,
I got to reevaluate a bit. And just because of what happened at the World Cup, I will say Mbappe.
nothing
33
wrong with
goals
that.
this season with Paris. Nearly won a second World Cup in a row by the just sheer will on his 30 minutes in the second half
Yeah,
of the final. Continues to score goals. He deserves better than PSG, to be honest. I've been trying to keep him there as long as possible, just because I love him. I love PSG, but he got to go. He got to get something better going in his club career.
he
He
deserves
deserves
so
better.
much better. He got to
But
get
if it
out of there.
was, yeah. And as far as goalkeeper, I almost said Ter Stegen because he tied the La Liga record with 24 clean sheets. Just 24? You kidding?
Yeah,
Um,
just they only scored on you in 4 games. Wait, how many?
24 of 30. What did they play?
Oh,
38? 38?
of 38. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought you said 34. 24. Yeah, that's still impressive though. That's
It's
more than
impressive. It's
half.
impressive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mbappe for me, and then if it wasn't gonna be international, I would say Osimhen. This guy, I think that
Yeah.
he just Italy flies too far under the radar.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad
Yeah,
we both mentioned Italian based players then.
yeah, yeah,
Osimhen and Martinez. Yeah. I'm
yeah,
not mad at that. I mean, yeah. I mean, and the thing also, I mean, for Mbappe, I feel like, yeah, what he did at the World Cup was special. Obviously, what he's doing in Paris. But yeah, he got to get out of there. Like,
yeah,
he
still,
has to
yeah,
go to Spain. You were saying black players maybe don't want to go to Spain,
yeah,
but he has to go to Spain. Like, don't, like, there's nothing for, like, in my opinion, now here I go again, and then I'm probably got to go. But there's nothing for you in the Premier League right now. There's nothing for you.
yeah. I think you're right, and it's going to be there. But to the point that we kind of made earlier, I think that Madrid or La Liga has to figure out what to do with racism because as it as from what we're hearing, Jude Bellingham is going to Madrid.
My
They got the
man.
two French boys, Camavinga and Chouameni, who were there.
Chouameni.
Obviously, they got
Yep.
Vinny. And let's just be real with it. Mbappe is going to go to Madrid at some point in the next couple years. They have to
Yeah.
figure out how to squash this racism problem, or at least look like they want to make an effort at fixing the racism problem.
Bro, I'll tell you one thing. Vinny didn't walk off. Mbappe, his parents will like be yelling,
He will
leave.
walk off, and he
His
will walk
mom will
off.
be like,
Yeah,
you are leaving, honey.
yeah,
And he's walking
yeah.
off the field.
He because he
And
stands for
and
what's
and
right.
yeah, he's made a stink about far less in very public ways. So you
Budweiser,
better
not letting the
believe.
Budweiser logo show.
Yeah. Yeah. Like he almost fell with the entire confederation over
Yeah,
something simple. Because he's like,
KFC,
nah, like
nah.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, imagine, yeah, someone says something about him, he's walking off and he's doing a press conference the next day with mom and dad, like feeding him, like yeah, and like Nike will be behind the like he'll have like it will be a whole rollout if they even say one. Like this is why Vinny wants to leave Nike. Nike, I mean, I'm not saying Nike didn't back him up, but if this happened to Mbappe, Nike would be running a campaign like they did for Colin Kaepernick. Like this is our
Yeah,
guy. Like the buck stops here. Like we're like Nike's going to war with that club, and if Nike sponsors them, they're ripping that sponsorship out.
yeah.
Wasn't it
Yeah, if this
Sevilla?
happened to Mbappe, he'd be calling Joan Laporta, being like, "Hey, when can I come?"
Yeah.
If
Yep.
he
I'm
gets
coming
abused at
over.
Madrid, yeah, he will. Yeah, he will do. He will go hard on the retaliation. Not even retaliation, just like, "Oh, I hear you. You want to play that game? We can play this game."
Yeah.
But anyway,
Dang,
anything
he
else?
a
Oh,
monster,
actually,
man.
if you have a minute, I just want to ask you a question.
Let's do it.
1 minute. So I just want a real. You've been real since the beginning of Chelsea's struggles, whereas everybody else up until an hour and a half ago was like, they'll still make Champions League. You were calling it from week 7. You were like, no, this is not
Yeah.
happening.
It's
So
over. It's
I
a
just want to
wrap.
know realistically how long until they're back in Champions League, top four competing for.
Next season.
You really think it's
Oh
next
yeah,
season?
let me
Okay.
be clear. Let
Okay.
me be clear with the people. They'll be back in contention for top 4 next season.
Okay.
I don't have any doubt about that. Like this was a heck of a season for us and we did horribly, but I mean, like I don't think Punch is the guy for us,
That was I gonna ask.
but
Even with him.
no. Yes, I think
Okay.
we can challenge for top 4 with Punch. Like just the stuff that I've seen from. Well, first off, I mean, Enzo Fernandez is a baller.
Hmm.
I can't. That cannot be understated. Okay, I like. I mean, there's a few players that need to leave the club, and I'm not going to get into that right now. Maybe we'll do a Chelsea rebuild episode later.
Yeah.
But I feel like we got to get like 8 to 12 guys out the door once they leave. Maybe bring in one guy, one number 9 that can score goals, a backup, like a backup guy across the back that can play on the right or the left for, there's a young, okay, I'm talking too much. Anyway, yes, just I'll be concise. Yes. I think they will be top 4 next season. And this is a trend that we see with Chelsea. Like they like when they like they've never had 2 consecutive seasons where they've performed badly
Okay.
or missed Europe for more than one season. Like they'll miss Champions League, then they'll bounce back. They'll finish 7th, then they'll bounce back, and they'll be like right back in the mix. They typically do their best. Like I'm excited because in a season like this, the following season they typically have some of their best performances. Like I'm not saying they're going to win the Champions League or the league because I don't know what moves they've made, but like they'll definitely I don't think they'll win the league. They'll win top 4. They'll probably win a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup. That's how I see it.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Not
Cool.
not
Cool.
no like I'm not being like I'm just that's just really what I see. Like I think they have the squad. I mean, they got 2 squads. I mean, they got enough to at least win a cup and go all in for it. And, if management was smart, like let's be realistic, like we're not in Europe, so we don't have to worry about that. So we got way
Yeah.
more time on the training ground. City's most likely going to do the quad if we're being honest, unless something goes horribly wrong. So, you know, we're gonna win our games, but we're like there's gonna be games where like, for example, we prioritize a cup match over the league match that weekend or vice versa because like let's really go for the league or for like the FA Cup or the Carabao. That's how I feel. Anyway, that's it.
Cool. I'm ready. Thank you.
Okay. Dang. Well, guys, thank you so much. It's been a long 10 months, but it's been a good 10 months. Actually, it's been a bad 10 months. All's well that doesn't end well. But thanks for rocking with us. We'll still be going strong all summer. You know, got content for days, but I guess yeah. Thank you and we'll see you in the next one. Adios.